Hey everyone, this is Nick, and today we're gonna talk about KDE Plasma 5.22. This is not a groundbreaking update since the previous one only released about 3 months ago, but it focuses really on improving compatibility with Wayland and has tons of quality of life improvements, so I think it warrants its own dedicated video. Let's take a look right after this. So this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Most of you probably know about it. Skillshare is an online learning community that lets you perfect one of your hobbies, one of the things you already know, or just grab some more professional knowledge of various topics. Now if we talk about Linux specifically, there are tons of courses about how to get better at the Linux command line, how to get better at being a Linux sysadmin. There's a ton of things here that you could use to better your knowledge of the Linux space. Now me personally, I focus more on trying to make better videos, better sound, better lighting, and this means that I have been focusing lately on the latest course by AIM-KBHD on how to make better videos. It's a really interesting one, and I think if you want to learn how to make videos, it's a really good one to try and look at. So of course creating your account on Skillshare is free, but if you subscribe to the premium version, you'll get access to offline courses and also to the whole library of everything that you could watch or ever want to watch. So the first 1000 subscribers that click the link in the description below will get access to a free trial of Skillshare Premium, and after that it's less than $10 a month for the access to the whole library. So get to the description, click on the link, and start learning something new. Okay, so let's begin with the quality of life improvements, because in this release there are many small tweaks that make the experience just a little bit better. The first one is the adaptive transparency for panels and their widgets. This feature will let you have your panel be transparent when you just have open windows floating around, and have those panels turn opaque when you have a maximized window. You could already do that with Latte Dock, for example, but it's a nice feature to have around. Transparent panels do look pretty weird when you have a solid window occupying the whole screen, but if you prefer, you can elect to make panels completely transparent or completely opaque if you prefer. Now, the new menu introduced in Plasma 5.21 is great, and I think it was already a nice improvement over the previous one, but it had an issue that really bugged me. It took ages for it to move to another application category when you hovered over it. This annoying delay is now gone, and it makes the menu a lot more responsive and a lot nicer to use. Now, in terms of applets, the release notes mention that the system tray ones have been made to look more coherent, but I couldn't find a difference between what's displayed on my KDE 5.21 desktop and what's available in 5.22. Maybe I'm starting to have vision problems. In the digital clock, you can now choose to display the date next to the time at all times, instead of having it displayed under if the panel is big enough. The audio applet lets you select a profile for each of your audio peripherals right from the applet, instead of having to dig into the settings, which will probably make people using more complex audio setups very happy. What do you mean my cheapo Logitech speakers don't qualify as an advanced audio setup? Users of Clipper, the clipboard manager, will now be able to press Meta plus V to get the clipboard history displayed at the current mouse cursor's location. You could already manually set up a keyboard shortcut to do that, but none was provided by default. You can also change the text size in the sticky note widgets, although you'll still have to go in the settings of the widget to do so, and the whole text will use the same font size. In the task manager, when you hover over an app's icon, you currently get a thumbnail of that app. Previously, you had an optional feature that let you highlight the app's window when you were hovering over its icon. Now that feature has been changed, and the highlight will only happen when you hover over the thumbnail itself. This behavior is also the default. In the notifications area, notifications about files will now show which app will be used when you click the Open button, and that's really useful because I always resorted to the Open With menu just to make sure I would open stuff in the right app. Now finally, when you're broadcasting or sharing your screen, Do Not Disturb mode will automatically enable itself. Which means that finally I can show stuff to my coworkers without them noticing that I'm torrenting porcupines. KRunner can now display multiple lines of text for such results, which means that when you use, for example, define to use the definition of a word, you can display the actual result in KRunner and avoid opening the corresponding app. That's pretty useful. KRunner also won't display duplicate results from different runners. If you type the name of an app, it won't show you the app and the command line to run it anymore, for example, which will make results a lot easier to parse visually. In terms of applications, Plasma 5.21 introduced a new system monitor. Well, it's now the default and replaces KSysGuard, which is a really good thing. The new app is really a lot more user-friendly and looks a lot nicer as well, with tons of power under the hood to customize it. In the system settings, the first page you'll see is a quick settings page that shows some of the most frequently accessed settings, namely switching from a light theme to a dark theme, changing the animation speed, the wallpaper, or the single-click, dual-click behavior in the file manager. It's a really nice touch, and I think it's way more useful than just having a few modules that you frequently access, just like you had in the previous iteration of KDE Plasma. And those modules that you access frequently are still located there underneath the new quick settings. Plasma 5.21 previously introduced offline updates, which is a way for you to install your updates when your computer is rebooting instead of applying them while you're using your device. KDE Neon actually chose to use that. When you install updates through Discover, you got a pop-up asking you to reboot. That's way worse than installing updates in place. Why would you want to do that? Well, I'm glad you asked, Mirror Dimension Nick, because there is actually a very valid use case for this. Sometimes you don't want updates to break your workflow. You're working on something mission critical and you applied updates, and you don't want the app to stop working because it's starting to be updated and the libraries have changed. You want to wait until the next time you reboot your computer, and offline updates just let you do that. In KDE Plasma 5.22, you can now enable or disable that behavior so everyone can have their cake and eat it too, at least on distros that support that feature. Now, just a quick note, offline updates only apply when you're using the graphical package manager. If you're using the command line, you will apply your updates immediately, as always. Nick, you just said in your intro that this release was mainly focused on Wayland. You are absolutely correct, Nick from the Mirror Dimension. I did. First, the Plasma activities are now supported on Wayland. This is a feature I haven't really used yet on my KDE desktop. Think of them as groups of virtual desktops. Each activity has their own set of virtual desktops, widgets, and wallpapers. This means that you can create an activity for your personal stuff, for example, with a folder view of your personal files, some system monitoring applets, and a few app shortcuts on the desktop. Yes, I did say you could have desktop icons. Sometimes forgiveness is the path to happiness. And you can also create another activity for your work-related stuff with different wallpaper, a folder view with your work-related files, different app shortcuts, and a widget to monitor your server's load, for example, or an activity feed from work-related websites. It seems cool, and I'll definitely need to look more into it, but the TLDR is that these didn't work on Wayland, and now they do. Exclusively on Wayland as well, when you're using the global menu applet, you'll see a search item on the right side of the menu that lets you search through all items in the apps menu. This is something you could do in the Unity desktop environment or on macOS, and it's a really super useful feature, especially in apps that have tons of menu items. So it's good to see it on KDE Plasma, and I wish they had done that for X11 as well. So KWin, the window manager for KDE, also has received tons of improvements on Wayland. First, full screen windows should now have way better performance on non-NVIDIA GPUs. Second, Plasma now supports variable refresh rates and FreeSync on Wayland. And third, you can now hot plug GPUs, and KWin and Plasma on Wayland will adapt to that automatically. Vertical and horizontal maximization, when you drag a window to the edges of the screen, should now work correctly as well, and you're now able to use the present windows effect more reliably to get an expose-like view. And finally, by default, on multi-screen setups, application windows will open on the screen where the mouse cursor is located. So to conclude, I've been using KDE Plasma for a while now, and while it was hard to get my bearings at first, the more I used it, the more I love it, and I'm definitely going to update to the latest version as soon as it's available. It's a no-brainer upgrade. Basically, there are no groundbreaking changes, the new theme revamped is still not there yet, but it's gonna be coming soon. You get plenty of quality of life improvements, and if you're planning to use KDE Plasma on Wayland, you really can't afford not to upgrade. This release really makes everything a lot smoother. So basically, no-brainer upgrade. If your distro offers it, move to it. There is nothing that you will regret doing. And if your distro doesn't really offer it yet, there is no real reason to switch distros just to benefit from it, because these are small quality of life improvements, unless you really want to use Wayland on KDE. In that case, 5.22 is for you. And that concludes this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't hesitate to like or dislike if you didn't. You can also subscribe and turn on notifications to get more videos like this one. And if you want to watch them somewhere else, I left a link to my Odyssey channel down in the link below. It has all the same videos than the YouTube channel. And if you want to help me get some hair implants, you can also become a Patreon supporter or a YouTube member, and you'll get access, whatever your subscription tier, to my weekly patroncast on every Monday, and to the right to vote for the next topics I'll cover. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!